Breaking news overnight, Twitter has now permanently banned MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell's account after they say he continually perpetuated the claim that Donald Trump won the 2020 U.S. presidential election. A Twitter spokesperson says that it decided to ban Lindell, who founded the betting company MyPillow, due to repeated violations of its civic integrity policy.
The policy was implemented last September and is targeted at fighting disinformation, but it was not immediately clear which post by Lindell on Twitter triggered the suspension of his account. Lindell has continued to insist the presidential election was rigged even after U.S. President Joe Biden's inauguration had begun. The U.S. House last night sent the Senate a single article of impeachment against former President Donald Trump, this time accusing him of inciting insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th.
Today, all 100 senators will be sworn in as members of the impeachment court. Opening arguments, they'll start in about 2 weeks. One Minnesota woman has a warning for you involving a bizarre situation with a man and cats. Brittany Bellinger says that she was in between State Highway 9 and Hitterdal around 9:30 Sunday night when she saw a box with a cat on the side of the road.
Thinking there could be kittens inside, Bellinger pulled over to check things out. That's when a dark four-door car pulled up behind her out of nowhere with a man behind the wheel.
He said, "So what are you up to tonight?" as he gets out of his car. And my first thought is, I'm not, no. So I jump back in my truck and I just throw it and drive, and I gunned it, man. I was out of there.
Bellinger says the man was wearing a face mask, but describes him as about 5'9", medium build, and says the car could be an older model Chevy Impala. A report has now been filed with the Clay County Sheriff's Office.
It's a cold start to our Tuesday. Let's get a check of that First Alert Storm Team forecast as meteorologist Lisa Green is tracking those wind chills this morning. Hi, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, it is getting dangerously low up in the Northern Valley, where we're seeing some wind chills down into that 30 below range here this morning. And we do have that wind chill advisory until noon today, including a good portion of the valley. More of us included in this wind chill advisory because it's colder across the valley. Here's a look at our wind chills right now. 33 below in Langdon, 26 below in Grand Forks. It feels like 12 below in Fargo. It's not so bad in the south because our temperatures aren't as low in the southern end of the valley. Still want to use some caution, of course, especially over in Valley City where we're at 21 below, but the heart of this cold air up in northeastern North Dakota and back into extreme northwest Minnesota. Check out Langdon's temperature. 18 below right now. It's 8 below in Devil's Lake. We've been clearing up north. That's allowed our temperatures to drop as that Arctic air takes over. And Northern Valley will definitely be the colder part of the region here for today. It's currently 4 in Fargo, above 0. And in addition to that, there's still some flakes out there. It's been pretty pesky, these snow showers and light flurries. And this morning you're seeing that east of East Grand Forks along Highway 2 and a few flakes flying by the camera along Highway 200 around Hallstatt. And Fargo-Moorhead, in the vicinity, things are pretty quiet. There have been a couple of flurries here and there. A quick check of your radar, you can see that there's some very light snow showing up on the radar, but overall conditions have been quieter in the south. You can see slight lowering in visibility in Grand Forks and along Highway 2 there. Bus stop planner, cold all day. You'll want to bundle up those kids and make sure they're wearing those accessories as well to cover up. When we've got wind chills up north down into the 30s below, we're talking frostbite in a matter of minutes, so you don't want to send them out without the proper protection. And this continues into the afternoon. Temperature is not rising much at all. Fargo, a high of 4. Up north, we could spend the entire day below 0, so a frigid January day. Overnight tonight will be the coldest of the temperatures, and then we recover from there heading into the weekend, which will feature some snow showers.
Thank you, Lisa. Minnesota has the dubious distinction of having a patient with the first known case in the U.S. of the COVID-19 variant coming out of Brazil. Health officials say that person lives in the Twin Cities metro and had recently traveled to that South American country.
This variant is believed to be more contagious than the initial virus strain that caused COVID-19, but it's not known if it's more severe. COVID vaccine maker Moderna says it is developing a booster shot to protect against newly emerging variants of the virus. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is revving up the state's COVID vaccine distribution plan to counter supply shortages during the first round of immunizations.
The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live this morning with a breakdown of what will happen now. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. This new update involves a registration process when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccination pilot program. And just last week, 13,000 Minnesotans were vaccinated at the 9 community clinics across the state of Minnesota. So when it comes to these updates, starting this morning, Minnesotans aged 65 and older will have a 24-hour window of time to pre-register for a randomized opportunity to get an appointment. Now, the updated process accounts for the anticipated high demand for appointments online. It allows for more orderly access to appointments at the call center by eliminating the first-come, first-served system. Now, with this not being in place, you do not have to register right away. Minnesotans can only pre-register once. Registration system will automatically delete duplicates, and appointments can't be passed on to another by your choice. Now, the deadline is 5 a.m., so less than a 24-hour window for you to go ahead and be able to do this. But on the bottom of your screen, you'll see ways that you can do it. But if you do decide to do the call center option, they are open from 9 in the morning to 7 at night.
Brian Sherrod reporting live. Again, that number and website at the bottom of your screen right now. Make sure you have that handy so people can get signed up for the vaccination. Thank you.
Thousands of Minnesota teachers and child care providers will have access this week to a one-of-a-kind vaccine event. The Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul is opening its doors for a COVID clinic Thursday through Monday and allocating 15,000 vaccine to get more educators and child care providers vaccinated.
Teachers unions have been vocal about wanting educators to have readily available access to the vaccine before considering going back to in-person learning. The Xcel Energy Center clinic will run vaccines by appointment only. School districts will notify educators who have been selected for an appointment, and child care providers will be chosen at random and notified by local health officials. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is pitching an education spending plan that aims to address short and long-term effects of the pandemic while also reducing racial inequity within Minnesota schools. The Due North education plan includes more academic and mental health programs starting this summer and the recruitment of more diverse teachers.
It will focus on making sure students from all backgrounds and zip codes recover from any learning loss due to COVID-19. He says it will also reform school financing, expand opportunities for students, and build the most qualified and diverse teaching workforce in the nation. Police are looking for several people tied to Sunday morning's shooting at the Arbors Apartments in South Fargo, and who police believe are the threat to the public. A woman was seriously wounded, and Jerome Kuhn was later arrested in connection with the shooting. But police say he's not the only suspect. They say people should stay alert to their surroundings and report any suspicious activity immediately.
Police served search warrants on 2 homes. In one, they found a child alone who is now in the custody of social services. Fargo police have set up a tip line for anyone with information. That number, 701-241-1431. The North Dakota Department of Human Services is taking over the federally funded refugee resettlement program in the state. The move comes after Lutheran Social Services closed last week amid financial problems.
After getting formal notification on Friday that there are no other agencies of its kind in the state, the refugee resettlement program basically fell into the lap of the Department of Human Services. Governor Doug Burgum says North Dakota has decades of success at integrating refugees who are fully vetted by the U.S. State Department and have become productive members of our state's workforce. Moorhead's mayor is on his way out. Jonathan Judd has been appointed by the governor to serve as a district court judge in Minnesota's 7th Judicial District.
He will be replacing Barbara Hansen and will be chambered at Fergus Falls in Otter Tail County. Judd was elected in 2018. His term was not set to end, though, until 2022. The city council will need to appoint one of its members as the new mayor.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: according to a brand new survey, this was the #1 comfort food that got us through the last year.
Well, the answer this morning, it's a grilled cheese.
That makes sense. Earlier we were talking about how fried cheese is now the most popular Super Bowl food.
Yeah, according to DoorDash, mozzarella sticks came in as #1, so it makes sense if you're making it at home. That grilled cheese, maybe a little tomato soup, get you through the day.
Oh, that sounds like a great meal, especially on a cold day to like today. Now remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. That's where we post the question every weekday morning. We hope you play along.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning is just about to start, but the Valley today, it rolls on. We have more live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW. And Lisa Green, she is in tracking some cold temperatures this morning. Grab that extra warm cup of coffee, maybe plan on some soup for supper. It's chilly, so you want to stick around and see what she has to say in her forecast. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.